What's another thing you're eyeing this season? I kind of want that new slow-firing arc machine gun. Do we know if there's any good rolls on it?
Is it high impact?
Bro, I think it is. I want to say it's a 360.
Wow. Well, it's an Xbox 360? They make those?
Bro, I want to say this thing is an old school Xbox 360 with connectimals.
Bro, can I put it on the little screen in my Dreamcast controller? It's fun talking guns. Matter of fact, it's a blast when you're hanging out with the Pizza Party Destiny Podcast. 3, 2, 1, pizza.
And we're live.
Hello, pizza people. We're back with another episode of the Pizza Party Destiny Podcast with your hosts, In the Light and Motion Idiot.
That's me.
That's him.
We had some audio issues last episode, and we are both now independently recording our own audio. So this should sound way better than we've recorded in the past. I'm actually excited to hear how it sounds.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's going to sound really dope. Cool. So let's drop down into the TWAB honorable mentions. We're going to go over, what's coming next week. A little fun stuff coming next week. We got some trials business we want to talk about. A lot of goofy stuff going on over there at Bungie. We're going to get our trackers back. We're going to tell you guys which trackers we're going to get. And there's a few bug fixes, but nothing too crazy.
Kind of a light TWAB this week, anyway.
For sure. Let's jump right into it. So this will come out on Monday and Tuesday. We're going to get the IO bunker. So, go down there, spend your bits, and then forget about it. I'm just kidding.
Probably a good 20, 30 minutes worth of opening it up and then spending what you've earned and unlocking basically all, if not all, most of it. And then maybe doing a legendary lost sector on IO, which I'm kind of excited for. But that's about the extent of it. You're gonna hit the end of that road pretty darn quickly.
Yeah, pretty fast. As well as later in the month, we're getting Guardian Games and Grandmaster Nightfalls.
Okay, both of which I'm excited about.
What's our reward, and is it going to keep us playing it?
Yeah. So my thought is with Guardian Games, we're likely going to see a return of the Verdant Forest from previous years. Likely a new set of armor, maybe some new cosmetic items to earn. But then the Grandmaster Nightfall really has me interested. What can they bring to the table that would keep me grinding Nightfalls at this point? Like, I've been doing the Nightfall as it stands for mats, like Ascendant Shards and Prisms, and getting exotics. If it's just those things, I got a feeling that there's gonna be a lot of people who are not doing that all that often.
Yeah, we just did the master one, and we were lower, and it was an absolute nightmare. So it better be some real good rewards in there. Let's break down into trials. So some big news in trials with the reward structure, and a lot of players just kind of opting out. A lot of casuals, they've had their fix. They're dropping out because it's not as fun anymore. Every YouTuber has a video out about how it's dying already, and it's been a few weeks. So what, with these rewards and stuff, I'm hearing all the people, they just want to farm the first few games, and we're recording this on Friday now, so we actually have dipped our toes into this cauldron map, and we are noticing that after the first or second game, we're just getting put with the sweatiest of sweaty.
It's very challenging. We've made it 4 on a card this week, where previous weeks were much easier to go flawless. I think because of the way things are set up, they really are shunning away a big portion of the lower level PvP players that maybe would be excited to get this type of gear. And aren't now because of the barrier for entry is so high.
Yeah, they just need to do something with the loot. So you a lot of people just don't even want to go not that they don't want to go, it's just like, what's the point of going flawless if you're going to get a mark or a bond or something. You know, like
Yep.
why not just farm the tokens and then go turn them in? You know.
It seems odd to me that it's more lucrative to grind for tokens than it is to try to get to the lighthouse. Like that at its core is very unbalanced. And I didn't even realize until today that you can't even turn in tokens to Saint 14 until you've passed 3 wins on your card. For us, we're fine because we play the game enough to do that, but like that's a massive group of people that just cannot participate in this whatsoever. And I don't know if that is the greatest idea for the longevity of the mode. You know, and then you get into the fact that going flawless itself gets you a piece, a pinnacle piece from the lighthouse, but then, it only gives you you get a piece at your level when you get there again. So it's either farm tokens at the bottom where the games are really easy and you're likely getting more tokens because you can buy that card that gets you 5 per win.
Or play tougher people.
Or you can play tougher people for 1 reward. I think most people will take the easier games just because it's more fun. So yeah, that pushes people who are in there just to get their 3 to 5 wins. That pushes them away too. Anyway,
yeah, the population has dropped for sure.
The population has sunk.
One thing I want to talk about is the disconnects about the people on their like 5th win, 6th win, and then they're getting just disconnected, and there's no way to rejoin. So what they've said is they figured out the issue that was going on. So now they're hopefully implementing it either Tuesday or very, very soon, that people can actually rejoin and get a chance to get back in there and get that win. You know what I mean? I don't know how it would mess up the card, but like give them a chance at least.
They also mentioned that they want to incentivize people to go to the lighthouse as well.
Of course, yeah.
So I think they mentioned that in the TWAB. So they're aware that the structure that they built is not good enough and that it needs some pretty quick tuning. Otherwise, we might find ourselves in some trouble.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, what you're saying about cheaters, oh my gosh, they're just running rampant. There's videos every other day. MTash and Lucky are putting up videos of, look at this guy. Is he aimbotting? Is he cheating? Is he just like switching it, toggling it on and off?
Our pal sent us a clip of a hunter flying through the air, firing a Queenbreaker bow like it's a machine gun. Downright Apache helicopter. And we ourselves encountered DDoSers.
Yeah, DOSers are always there. And that's on console. PC obviously it's probably much easier to get all these cheaters in there, but we don't see them as much on console, but we even have seen some. It's never going to be not there.
Yeah, I think to some degree it's just the fact that you can't as easily cheat through means of aimbotting or wall hacks, things like that. You can't do that on console quite as easily. I think you can, but it's not quite the same. But DDoSing it runs rampant on console. It's definitely an issue. We just experienced it recently, and it's a really frustrating way to end a night.
Yeah. Oh man. So Trials is under the magnifying glass because there's a lot of stuff going on, and their whole thing was can't put it out half baked, and it's just getting picked apart. The vultures are out. They need to figure out what they got to do with that, and hopefully it happens soon. What do we got next? Ooh, we got some trackers to talk about, bud. Lots coming in.
What are trackers?
What are those? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out here. This update later this month, 2.8.1 is bringing a buttload of trackers back into the game, and all these trackers are gonna be, if they're at 0, they're not gonna be there, right? So you actually have to have something on it for it to actually show up, right? So let's get started. We got Forge completions, right? We got Season 8, Season 9, Season Pass rank. We got number of Tier 3 encounters completed in the Reckoning. Fractaline donated. Menagerie completions. Heroic Menagerie completions.
Cool.
Kills of Haunted Forest Terrors. Ooh, spooky. Deepest branch of the Haunted Forest. We got branches in Verdant Forest. We got Revelric light triggers during the Revelry. We got that candy collected, baby.
Candy
and we got
collected.
recipes baked.
Some streamer had 69,420 candy, and I think they were pretty upset when that candy got removed from the tracker. So I'm glad to see candy return.
Yeah, homie should be excited about that.
Oh yeah.
All right, what else we got? We got count wide. We got heroic missions completed. That'll bop up. We got kills in the individual classes, right? So all three
every
different
class
types of
from
Titans.
every perfect.
Exactly. Hunters, warlocks, every single one. So like you said, Cam was gonna, that Voidwalker warlock. He's gonna rep that. That's his joint.
Oh yeah. If you're a main of a specific subclass, so a lot of people like to rock these.
Yeah, for sure. And then we'll drop down in the Crucible. Literally every single gold medal earned, right? But then every individual gold medal.
I really like that, allowing you to show
Super cool.
your specific gold medals. Like you could get an Annihilation medal, which is clearing out an entire team in elimination. If you rock like this is how many times I annihilate teams, on your Trials emblem, I think that's a really cool flex. It also shows that they're going to be bringing in
Trials of the Nine, wins and flawless tickets. So that's kind of neat. All those old emblems. I know a lot of people like those old ones. I know you've been repping it.
Yeah, I like those old the armor design and the art of the emblems and stuff. Huge fan.
Mm-hmm. They got the glory, longest glory win streak, total valor resets, Iron Banner rank. They got gold medals earned in Iron Banner. They got the bounties completed in Iron Banner. We got kills in Crimson doubles and kills while under the effects of Iron Burden. Why you'd put yourself through however many of those were, don't know why, but you can rep it again.
2,500. I mean, I felt for the people that couldn't rep that anymore. So it's good to be back.
Of course. And then Destination, kills of final bosses in Escalation Protocol, Nightmare hunts, and the Pit of Heresy solo flawless completions coming back, baby.
Thank you, please.
I know you're in the double digits. You're pretty happy to see that.
It's a cool emblem that you can only apply these stats to moon emblems. So it's cool to see those return.
For sure. We got Gambit, Infamy rank resets. We got raids. So all the old raids, Leviathan, Eater Worlds, and Spire. The Prestige and Normal.
Sure.
Those are all coming back. As well as even the Nightfall Challenges completions.
Awesome.
Cool. I think that wraps up all the trackers. If you, sound off in the comments if you heard your favorite one, we love talking to you. We got our favorites, obviously. And then, some bug fixes. I'm not going to go through these just because it's like some weird random ones that is going to affect, who knows, 5 people. Oh, and the emblems, when you can't see your homies on the thing, and it's just a black bar and it has a 0 for their light. They're fixing that. This is good. Or it's current known issue. They know about it. They're working on it.
Sure. Here's hoping that gets fixed because that's maybe one of the most frustrating issues right now in the game.
It affects you joining your friends.
Yeah, you'll have to join me instead. And if you can't join either of your friends, you're basically SOL. So I'm glad they know about it, but we'll see when that gets fixed.
Right, for sure. Cool. I think light TWAB this week. So we're gonna knock off that, and we're gonna go to our big topic for this episode.
The biggest.
And I'm gonna it's big, baby. It's big. And we're going to talk about a perk or almost like a set of perks because they're pretty much the same thing. And we're going to talk about Explosive Payload and in parentheses, Timed Payload, right?
Sure. Because they're very similar perks, so it's good to know what they're both doing.
There is a lot of numbers, right? He's gonna break this down for you, right? And we've already gone over this once, so he knows exactly what he's talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking about because this is take 2 recording all this information. It's gonna sound better though. It's gonna sound better than it did, so it's gonna be worth it. Okay, sure, Explosive Payload. Where do we start with Explosive Payload?
Let's do it.
This is a perk that you can find on precision-based weapons.
Yep.
Hand cannons, scout rifles, and sniper rifles.
Snipey.
No other weapons have it. Other than Xenophage, which is not the same thing. It operates completely independently in the sandbox. So there's nothing to compare it to. So what I did was I looked at the damage values of all weapons without the perk, and then looked at all damage values with the perk, using all level 1000 weapons, no variation whatsoever, and the tribute hall and the rig lost sector on the Titan. I think it's Titan. Anyway, so the perk itself, explosive
You talking
payload.
about Greg?
Yeah, Greg. You know that lost sector. So the thing is, it's really tough to test against red bar minor enemies in the tribute hall because they die instantly. You can't even crit them without them just insta dying. But they're a little bit beefier inside of like open world areas. So that's why it's easier to test certain things in the lost sector and easier to test certain things in the tribute hall. Anyway, explosive payload is a perk that takes the full damage of the bullet and splits it into 2 damage values. One is the bullet damage, and the other is an explosion that is about a meter from the point of impact, like a meter wide explosion. This does 2 things for you, or a little bit more than 2 things, but mainly 2 things. It creates an area of effect damage pool that any closer enemy can take damage from, right? And it also gives you a flat damage buff to every bullet fired from the gun. Because when you split it into 2, for whatever reason, they've chosen to increase your overall damage. So when a lot of people think about damage perks, they think about Rampage, they think about Kill Clip, Swashbuckler, Multi-Kill Clip. You should be thinking Explosive Payload too, in my opinion. I think it's on par with a lot of these perks in terms of its power.
Ease of use.
Ease of use, yes. Like, honestly, not having to worry about keeping a damage perk up, always having extra damage for your next engagement, having splash damage that can hit multiple targets in group up situations. All really good, right? Here's the meat and potatoes of the perk itself, though. Baseline, across the board, every weapon that has explosive payload on it receives a flat 15% buff to all body shots to any tiered enemy. Minor, major, ultra, boss, doesn't matter. 15%. Right. That is a stack and a half of Rampage for the listeners at home.
Oh, goddamn.
That is a lot of damage that you get to walk around with. Now, depending on what kind of gun it is, you'll see different values for headshot damage, but headshot damage is reduced from 15%, right? So we'll start with the lowest, which is a sniper rifle, which receives the base 15% buff to all body shots and a 5.2% buff to the head. So, like, you know, decent body shot increase, and then, like, an okay increase to the head. Better than nothing, I would have to say. In certain sniper rifles, for solo activities, you know, explosive payload is strictly better than firing line.
Yeah, if you don't got your homies with you.
Yeah, exactly. Firing line. Vorpal's still great. Vorpal is a 15% across the board, but it only applies to bosses. And I think some of the higher majors, like ultras, I think also take bonus damage. Okay, with that said, moving on, because it gets better as we go. The second best archetype to wield explosive payload is a scout rifle. Now, a scout rifle is going to receive a 15% flat buff to all body shots, just like the other weapons, but an 8.4% damage, 8.5% to the head. That's almost a full stack of Rampage without having to do a thing. That includes splash damage, right? And again, that's across the board. Minor, major, and boss type enemies receive that 8.4 to the head, 15 to the body. Moving on, I did get my hands on some exotic weaponry. The Sunshot, which is popular right now because of that Rasputin mod that gives you, what is it? Some form of solar splash damage that will... create Warmind cells. So Sunshot's really hot right now. Again, 15% across the board, all body shots.
Pun intended.
Sunshot receives a 9.2% increase. So, you know, higher than 8.5 for sure.
Right.
Decent explosion damage. And then, of course, Sunshot has other explosions going on that make that thing even better. Going even further, I tested a variety of Better Devils, one without any explosive payload whatsoever, one with explosive payload, and one with timed payload. And the explosive payload saw the biggest increase in damage from any weapon type. So it appears that hand cannons, not Sunshot specifically. Sunshot seems to be slightly weaker in the explosive category. But legendary hand cannons, the Better Devil was doing 15% across the board to all enemy types to the body, and a 10.3% increase to the head. That is literally a full stack of Rampage on your gun at all times, providing you with double hits for every shot. Can't confirm, but it appears to stagger enemies faster because of this. That's really crazy, and I'm really loving it. But then I tested timed payload and immediately saw the difference. Timed payload was receiving a 16.6% buff to the body, higher than any other gun. Instead of the 15% we were seeing from explosive, timed payload is getting 16.5%. That is a ton of bonus damage. And then to the head, the strongest yet, 11.2%. That is higher than a stack of Rampage. It is a stack and a half, even more so when you're hitting to the body. And the timed payload creates a disjointed stagger effect that hits them slightly after the bullet, causing them to stagger a little bit later, giving you that little bit of time to follow up your next shot. It's actually really, really cool. So if you can get your hands on a timed payload weapon, I know there's a few of them sneaking around out in the sandbox. I highly recommend it. So I know I've been rambling for a while here, and I appreciate anybody sticking around because this is quite a bit of numbers to digest. But the base thing you can take away here is that all damage to the body from any explosive weapon is increased by 15 or 16.5%, somewhere in that margin. And all shots to the head are between 8% to 11.5%, depending on the weapon type, if it's a primary. If it's a special, the only ones are snipers, and they get reduced damage to the head. 5% bonus. It's not as high, but it's still very good, obviously. Better than no damage increase. So anyway, explosive rounds good. Use on gun. This has been your motion moment.
Profit.
Get money.
Yeah, I mean, you're that's information that a lot of people don't know. Nobody would know that unless they went and tested it, right? And that's just money. Your gun has explosive rounds. You're walking around with a Rampage stack.
Yeah, and not only that, but it does group damage. I think that's so underlooked.
Thralls and shit like that. You're boom boom, and you can hit 2 to 3. Yeah. The another thing what you're saying is we were talking about Nightfalls and Rampage and Kill Clip and Multi-Kill Clip and Swashbuckler. Maybe Swashbuckler not as much because you can get the melee, but you're not. It's so much harder to get that running, get that engine going, and really cooking with it. Explosive, you're just hitting them, baby.
You're rarely going to be able to go from one target to another utilizing Rampage in a really high level Nightfall or a really high level Nightmare Hunt. You're going to be able to kill one guy with half or more than half a mag, and you're likely going to use Rampage for the first few shots of the next guy, and it will fall off. You're not going to run train and keep this Rampage perk up the whole time if you're in high level activities. But like you just said, if you've got an explosive payload weapon or a timed payload weapon, that's a flat damage buff against everything you fight. You add a minor spec on that, and you're doing really, really powerful numbers. On a timed payload hand cannon, using minor spec, you're receiving roughly 25% bonus damage to the body and almost 20% bonus damage to the head. It's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Don't overlook it. All I'm saying. I think I might have peaked the mic there. Sorry, Pep.
It's okay. Do it in post.
We'll do it in post. We always do.
So, that was obviously a lot of info.
Yeah, I appreciate you listening.
Spark notes or whatever, cliff notes or whatever it says, explosive. Don't sleep on it. It's good. Use it, you guys. We're here to tell you about stuff that might be sweeping under the radar, but it's good enough to use. We play the high-end stuff, and we know it's good. It's a...
Very powerful.
Don't scoff at it. Cool. So I think that is going to wrap up our episode. Don't forget to yeet slam that like button
And
Nova bomb
that
that. Dude, can we please do this? I'll do the yeet and you do the Nova bomb just because we're Titan and Warlock.
I've been
perfect.
Nova bombing exclusively in Trials, so I love it.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We'll put that the links in the description below.
Yeah, and let us know if there's anything you'd like us to take a deep dive on. I love going in depth. I sat with explosive payload weapons in the tribute hall for a good 2 hours just getting data so I could give it to you guys. So yeah, let me know.
Heck yeah.
Let us know, and we'll get back to you. Obviously.
Yeah, leave comments. We try to we'll always talk to you guys in the comments for sure. We're here to have fun and answer questions, and all the info that we know about the game, we want to share it. There ain't no point in keeping it to ourselves. I ain't no old curmudgeon.
Stay safe out there. Stay inside and play Destiny.
You guys rock. Pizza party people. You guys are awesome. Have a good one.
See ya.
Later. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Go a little quicker with your 3, 2, 1 pizza.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because I'm just trying to follow your rhythm. 3, 2, 1 pizza.
3, 2, 1
pizza. Jiminy Christmas, the birthday party's today? Name that movie.
Bad Santa.
Ratatouille.
What the fart?
No, it's Toy Story.
You said 2. I don't even think I've gotten one yet. God, I've been really slouching. Been really being a slouch. Commit! You slouches.
Commit, you slouches. I don't have any ammo.
Oh, me either. Don't commit.
Don't commit. Don't commit. We didn't talk about double reward nightfalls that are only available this week. Now, obviously, we're recording this on a Friday, and this episode will come out on a Monday, which means
you have exactly 7.5 hours to grind this nightfall.